Hello children, today I am going to teach you geography, that very interesting and then very simple lesson, the Indian transport and communication. What do you mean by transport? There is a question. This you have learnt already in nursery, that is LKG, UKG and then primary level you have learnt. It's a simple answer children. Transport means movement of goods and people from one place to another, you know already. Transport system in India can be broadly divided into three types. They are land transport, water transport and air transport. Here we have shown the picture in the about all that. See, airway, landway and waterway. Three also we have shown. You can, without showing also you can understand. So here we have shown the picture. Now I will come to road. Roads are feeders to the modes of transportation. One has to travel on roads to reach the railway station, airport or seaport. As soon we you step out of the house, you will come to road, is it not? You step out of the school, you will come to the road. So there are roads, types also are there. Small roads, lanes we will call it, and village side path we say. And in village side not only path, mud roads are there. And you come to city area, lanes, street, gully they will tell that street, and the small roads, narrow roads are there. And some roads one way, some roads two ways, and parking roads are different, like that you can see here in cities also. Now next I will proceed to the next group. On the basis of construction and maintenance, roads are classified into golden quadrilateral and super highways, national highways, state highways, district roads and village roads. Before going to that, I would like to explain what is highways. Highways are very, very broad roads, children. Whatever you are seeing here, whatever we are traveling here, these are all common roads. But highways means that is totally different. Highways are very broad that connects city to, capital to the other capital, or industrial area to the other industrial area, or agriculture area to the industrial area, or industrial area to the distant market, like that, very broad roads. One time only in a highway, 4 to 5 vehicles, that two industrial vehicles are heavy, not what we are seeing here, that vehicles are different children. Industrial vehicles are very big and then very heavy. Those vehicles will carry the machines, transport items, or this transport modes. That means modes means car, two-wheelers, three-wheelers, totally like that, stepwise, floor-wise. They will pack and then they will carry very, very big and heavy vehicles will be moving at a stretch. Highway means 4 to 5 or 6 also sometimes they will be moving without the speed limit. Here, normal roads and all, they are given speed limit to all the vehicles, but in highways, no speed limit. It will be keep on moving at a great high speed. We can't travel. Now, ordinary vehicles, no, it can't, be ride on in the highways. Next, the Golden Quadrilateral is a highway network in India consisting of 4 major expressways connecting Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai and Kolkata. These are all the highly developed capitals in India, thus forming a quadrilateral of sorts. Now next, this expressway connects important industrial cities and ports like Ahmedabad, Bhubaneswar, Jaipur, Kanpur, Pune, Surat, Vijayawada and Visakhapatnam. The national highways are the primary long distance roads. Construction and maintenance of these roads is the responsibility of the central government. National highways link major cities of different states in India. The state highways usually are roads which link important cities, towns, districts, headquarters within the state and connecting them with the national highways or highways of the neighboring states. The state highways usually or roads are constructed and maintained by state governments. Construction and maintenance of district roads is the responsibility of the Jilla Panchayat. These roads connect district headquarters with the national and state highways. Village roads provide link to other roads in order to meet their daily needs and access the nearby market. Construction and maintenance of these roads is the responsibility of the village panchayat. Here there is a question, children. So, does village needs good road? If I ask, you say, half you say no, half you say yes. Is it not? But I'll say, yes, definitely village roads are very, very important. A good roads should be, good network of roads should be constructed. Why, because village, they are feeders for all agricultural products. What is that agricultural product? Food grains they'll grow, commercial crops also they grow. Commercial crops as soon they fully grown, they'll be packed and then they are sent to the industrial area or distant marketing area to convert it into ready goods. Follow? And finished goods also. Now, not only that, even food grains you take. Soon after food grains, they'll dry it and they will send it immediately. If they have good roads, good network of roads, immediately they send it to granary or distant markets or mandi or the other industrial area or far off places wherever. That's why even villages also needs a good network of roadways. And now here Golden Quadrilateral, it connects to the all capitals, all industrial areas, cities, etc. Here we are shown in the lines and all are drawn. There you can see, children, you can understand. Next, the second type is waterways. Waterways are natural, whereas railways and roadways are constructed. We only should construct it expensive. Now here waterway is natural, but constructing the steamer, ship, the other accessories, whatever, everything is very, very expensive. Waterways are used to transport people and goods. This activity is carried out through a port. What do you mean by port? A port is a location on a coast or shore where ships can dock, and dock means what? Take shelter, and transfer people or goods to or from the land, to and fro. Maybe export and import. Export means sending to the outside nations. Then importing means from outside nations we are importing to our country. That is export and import. The major ports on the west coast, that is one thing I want to tell you. South India is, it is very, very, suitable, and it is very, very apt for the port and harbour. Now South India, now I will show you the map, you will come to know. South India, three sides of water, that is east side Bay of Bengal, west side Arabian Sea, South Indian Ocean. Three sides of water and one side of the land is covered. This peninsula also we call it. And because of these three sides of water, the coastline, the land, very border area of this oceans and all, that is coastline, that is suitable for ports. So all exports of our country takes place through these ports only, and major ports on the west coast of India are Kandla, Mumbai, Nhava Sheva, Mormugao, New Mangalore and Kochi. Major ports on the east coast of India, Tuticorin, that is in Chennai, children, and Chennai port also is there, Visakhapatnam, Paradip, Haldia and Kolkata. Here I have shown everything in the black mark and all. If you once you go through that, you can understand. Even in textbook also they are given. That's important ports and harbours. If at all in examination if they ask you important ports of or harbors, so South India only it is there. Why North India it is not there? Because full it is covered with the land. Only South India is covered with the water part. Here only now that ports and harbor possible. That's why South India only you can locate. Now next one, airways. Airways are convenient means for quick movement of people or mail service. Even why because it is a light metal. Aluminum is a light metal, and then also it will go to the higher in the sky. That's why it will carry only light goods, not heavy goods. It can't carry. And also, what are the other goods the aeroplane carries? Medicine, perishable goods, that is fruits or perishable fruits, and then flowers, medicine, like vegetables, and some other light products it carries. These are all, and also passengers also limited, 150 to 200 passengers that's all. But ship means many lakhs of tons also it carries, machines and people. People traveling the ship is very less. They are all very less because it takes nearly 3 to 5 months to move from one destiny to the other destiny, and moving to one country to the other country. Last it will go and then land. So people traveling is lesser than the goods. So ship carries all heavy goods, big machines, heavy machines, whatever like that. But air transport it carries very light goods, but it covers a very long distance within a short period, and that's why charges very more. Follow? Traveling is expensive in airways. And air transport in India is operated by both public and private sectors. In India, the beginning soon after independence, there were two companies only. That is the airlines and Air India. Airline, it was within India. The airway, moving airway within India. Example, from Chennai, that time I am telling you, not now. Chennai to Delhi, or Kolkata to Delhi or Chennai, like that. Today, so many internal airway companies have come. That is Kingfisher, Jaguar, and still more are there children. That is Malayas also one, and others also. The Naidu, they are all started airways, jet airways. So many are there, and today still more companies are there. These will know one thing I'll tell you. Local means from Bangalore to Tirupati, Bangalore to Coimbatore, or this one Bombay, like that. Bombay to Pune or Bombay to Chennai, like that. So within the country, so many companies are running the aeroplanes today. And airways today, even that also various companies are given, private sector and national this sectors also are there, public sectors. Public means run by the government, private means the private people or company, they are running it. And today you know that international airways are there in various places. That is in Chennai, international airways are there, Bombay and Delhi. From here, even here, today in Bangalore also, Kempegowda International Airways is there, after Devanhalli. Like this, in so many cities and all, we have got international airway. That airway will move to foreign countries. Got it? Like that. And now, here air transport in India is operated by both public and private sectors. And air transport can be divided into two types on the basis of connectively. I have told you, domestic flights and international flights. Here I have shown the pictures, or flights and all. So today it has become common, internal and external. And one more thing I want to tell you, aeroplane is not only meant for traveling. Even jet airways are there, that is meant for defense. Defense aeroplanes are differently devised that will carry only the weapons, and sometimes armies also. Emergency army, they want to send it means airway will is useful, very fast it will take to enemy place. Like that. Arms and ammunitions also carried. That is jetway with the greatest speed. Now plenty inside and all devised in a different way to carry the weapons. Apart from this, now airways, no, they render lots of services. If earthquake takes place, flood occurs, tsunami, wherever now people are in struggle, then immediately airway will go and then rescue the people. And helicopter will be there. Helicopter also, not only airway means even a helicopter also comes. Helicopter also one of the devices there. So they will land and then they will carry the people to the remote, from remote area to the city area for the treatment, hospital area, like that. Apart from that, some remote area people will be struggling hard. Even military also. Those people now, soldiers and all, they will be struggling hard for the food, water, medicine and all. So what will happen now? These airplanes will go, pack, they will drop to that area so that the soldiers all will get those packs and then whatever medicine, food or water, whatever. Even in a flood area, flood prone area, and then tsunami area or any earthquake and all, people they will be struggling or wounded people all will be there. Immediately medicine should be sent. So airplane will go and drop all this whatever necessary things they needed. Okay, like this now, waterway, landway. In the landway only roadways and railways and pipelines are there. And waterway, you know that I told you, airways I completed. Now I'll proceed to the communication. Communication means what? It is a process of transferring information, ideas or thoughts through speech, signals or writing to others. Mailing. They say, today, system, what they say? I'll mail to you. WhatsApp, mobile. This is all communication. I need not tell you much, you know better than me, okay? Now, with the advance of science, several new means of communications have been developed in the modern world. By example, post and telegraph. Today, telegraph is not there, children. Last year only they removed. A radio, television, computer, network, cinema, newspaper, etc. Computer network, is it done? What is that? That are used to store and deliver information or data. Example, print media, that is newspaper, mass media. Newspaper, radio, television is grouped as mass media, And now, today satellite also there, satellite information technology, all that. Totally communication is shrunken the world. The world has become small. Actually, this world is not small, but communication, anyway, you want to talk immediately, you can use, that's a network, today Facebook and Instagram, you can express all this, so many things are there, and this one now, a system. Apart from this, so many other things are there. That is, there are two types of communication. Personal communication, that is telephone and post. Whatever it is, you want to express means that is only related to the person. Mass communication means newspaper, TV, cinema, etc. Communicating information to large number of people at the same time is called mass media or mass communication. The global positioning system, that is called GPS, is a satellite-based navigation system. See, children, they will ask you in the examination what is GPS. GPS means first you should write the global positioning system. That is a satellite navigation system. The objective of global positioning system is to indicate the location of a stationary or moving object or person through pointing out latitude, longitude and altitude. Now, whatever you want to locate and you want to find out the place on the earth, any far of remote area, then what will happen now? The cursive, what do you say? Cursor. Cursor will